Welcome to Praise to the King of Kings, heralding the glory of God and the Lordship of Jesus Christ over all of life and all the world. Not one bit. August 7th, 2020. 2020 has been quite a year. I won't even try to make an exhaustive list, but some of the highlights include a global pandemic, nationwide lockdowns, riots in the streets, and a short-lived Kanye West presidential campaign. For those of us used to a much more stable experience, 2020 has felt tumultuous to say the least. For this reason, I thought it appropriate to remind us all of one very important truth. Jesus is Lord, and his lordship is not threatened or destabilized by chaos in the world, not even a little bit. Absolute sovereignty. I believe we need to be reminded from time to time that not only is God's rule not challenged by the tumult on earth, he himself is the one guiding history. The chaotic events that we encounter are from the hand of the Lord. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form light and create darkness. I make well-being and create calamity. I am the Lord who does all these things. Isaiah 45, verse 7. While we are always responsible for our own sins, in an ultimate sense, whatsoever comes to pass is from the hand of the Lord. Remember this and stand firm. Recall it to mind, you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is no other. I am God and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all my purpose. Isaiah 46, 8-10. God has ordained all things. He is sovereign over them, has a purpose in them, and he will ultimately be glorified by them. No doubt this claim will cause trouble for some, but I press the point because I believe that the Bible is clear and that these truths are in fact among the most comforting realities for believers, especially in times of turmoil. God is in control. Part of what this means is that there is nothing that catches him by surprise. God is never left scrambling, trying to figure out how he's going to clean up this mess. God never has to resort to plan B. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord holds them in derision. Psalm 2, 1-4. The lordship of Christ is not challenged by earthly turmoil. There is no panic in the court of heaven. Jesus is Lord, and nothing that happens down here has any bearing on that fact whatsoever. This ought to be comforting for those who are citizens of his kingdom. Much needed perspective. Nations rise and fall. Empires come and go. People scurry about on the face of the earth with a highly inflated sense of self-importance. In the end, we are all a vapor. Mist, vanity, dust and ashes. Canada can crumble. The United States could dissolve. Jesus will still be king. Regardless of what happens in our world right now, 500 years from now, Jesus will still be king. 1,000 years from now, Jesus will still be king. 100 million years from now, Jesus will still be king. For his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion endures from generation to generation. Daniel 4, verse 3. When things seem to be spiraling out of control, look to the Lord. If we could gaze into heaven and see his face, there would be no panic in his expression. His reign is not challenged. His rule is not in jeopardy. His plans are not shaken. The outcome is not in question. It was accomplished when Jesus rose from the dead. He is king, and one day all his enemies will be under his feet. We live in light of those realities, finding joy and peace in the arms of our sovereign Lord. Jesus reigns, and he always will. The chaos of man does not shake the heavenly throne. Not one bit. Soli Deo Gloria.